Oh, it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. And today we are doing a lovely, hopefully juicy reading on does this person watch your social media? So I've got 3 piles here. 1, 2, 3. I will put the picture up for you to look at that, and I will see you at your reading. Hi Pile 1, it's me, Jess. I just wanted to jump on here really quickly before your reading starts because I just went to edit this video and I could not put your pile down. Something just kept nagging at me in the back of my mind that I had missed something or I'd gotten something wrong or just not quite right. And I figured out, I think, what it is. And so I just wanted to tell you before you jump into your reading so you can kind of keep this in mind. And it's that when I was reading the cards, I was definitely reading them from a neurotypical point of view. And I feel like that's fine. Like it kind of is what it is because we're doing a general reading here. So like neurotypical, like I feel like I'll probably pick up on the typical vibe of any pile that I'm in. And so I feel like that's fine because a lot of you probably are asking about a neurotypical person. And so my assessment of their behaviors and like their struggles, like with socialization and the perspectives of where they're coming from, I feel like that's probably going to stand for most of you who are here. And you know, you are asking about somebody who, like I said, is neurotypical. But I feel like what kept like pulling at me is that there are some of you who are here and this is your pile and this is your person, but they're not neurotypical. They could be like, you know, on the autism spectrum, because as I started to think about all the things I was describing and like, you know, this person's the way that their mind works and how they're very goal oriented and like this really works well for them in terms of like understanding technology and machines and stuff. But here's where it kind of the wires get all crossed, you know, in social relationships. I feel like especially autism or something like that, you know, that could be another explanation of why this person is the way that they are. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're, you know, trying to, you know, get you wrong or rub you the wrong way or anything. It's just that their brain's set up a little bit differently. And so I did just want to account for that here in this reading. And so if you feel like your person might be on the spectrum, it could be really interesting and helpful to look into, loving somebody with autism. I just looked into it out of like sheer curiosity, and I'm going to keep looking into it because it was fascinating. And I feel like I learned a lot about love just in general. And so I might even link a couple videos down below that I found really helpful if that's something that you're interested in. But I just thought that I would put that out there, that could be just another, especially if you feel like, yeah, my person does all those like kind of weird socially awkward things and it does communicate to me that I'm not important, but I don't feel like they're just outright a jerk, like trying to make me feel like I'm not important, So that's all I wanted to say. I hope you enjoy your reading. Bye. All right, so pile number 1, does this person watch your social media? Yes, they do. They absolutely do. This is a very, very interesting pile. There's a lot for us to like talk about here, and we will. But the thing that is standing out to me the most, like right off the bat, is that this person is watching your social media as a means of getting around some kind of block, impasse, obstacle, maybe even some kind of a disagreement, something where you don't see eye to eye here with this person. That's why they're watching your social media, as a means to get around this. So it could very well be that you block this person on your social media platforms, in which case I still feel like this person is watching you. The cards are saying that they're most likely watching you from a friend or siblings like account, but they also could have just like made their own fake account to connect with you and watch you on social media. Another way that this could be playing out is like, say you and this person worked in the same building. So you saw each other every single day, like in meet space, got to, interact, have conversations, see, just observe one another. And then all of a sudden one of you got transferred or got a new job or had to move somewhere. And so that became a blockage to them seeing you and talking with you and communicating with you. So now they watch your social media in order to be able to keep up with you and see what it is that you're doing and to be able to converse with you and things like that. That's another possibility. The third thing that I am getting very strongly just right off the bat here is that it also could be that this person is frustrated with the communication between the two of you in some way, shape, or form. And I just want to say, like, I do think it's a facet here of your connection, but it also might be like a personality trait within this person, that they're often frustrated with communication, with small talk, with going through the whole dance of like getting to know people. I also think that this person that you're asking about is someone who puts a lot more stock in actions and what people do than what people say. They're kind of not interested in what people say because they think that it's just kind of BS a little bit. Sometimes people play themselves up or not enough, you know what I mean? And so, and it also could just be that like you are at the beginning of, maybe you don't know each other that well and you're getting to know one another, but you're doing the whole like thing where you're being polite and you're, hey, how are you doing? But this person they're impatient. They like want it to move faster. So they're watching your social media as a way to like get to the juice, get to the heart of who you are, what makes you tick. But I feel like this person has something specific that they want to know. It might be like a few things. Maybe it's like, but this person has like specific questions. They want to like wade through what they deem as, like fluff or extraneous in order to get like straight to the heart of what it is that they want to know about you. And the way they figure they're going to do that is through watching your social media, because on social media, it's a plethora, it's a smorgasbord of information about a person, right? So this person's watching you to see like how you think about things, what your ideas are, who you are ultimately. They want to know who your friends are, who it is that you're hanging out with, what kinds of things you like, what skills you have, what interests you have. They want to watch your conversations with people. They want to see who you talk to more than others. And they want to see like your pictures, what things are you doing? What event are you going to? Are you going to this festival? Are you going to that festival? Are you going on this trip? Are you going on that vacation? Where is it that you go, that you spend your time? because this is like more meaningful and more important information to this person than just this chit chatty small talk. Hey, how you doing? How's your afternoon? Like, kind of thing. This person wants to like get around that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, this person is absolutely watching your social media from the sidelines, from the shadows. And I actually feel like it might be a bit painful for this person to just like watch and not interact, because this person asserts themselves through language, but we'll get there. Like, the other thing though is I do feel like this person has a crush on you. And it's like, for some of you, I think that this person had a crush on you, and so now that's why they are looking at your social media, is because they have a crush on you and they want to like, maybe there's a friend that they're worried about is trying to get with you. They want to like keep tabs on you that way because they already had a crush on you. For some of you, since watching your social media and seeing all of these different things about who you are and your ideas and stuff like that, this person has developed a crush on you, and it's really intense. This person does like, they have a lot of passion for you. I feel like there's a lot of, the word synergy comes to mind. Like, there's a lot of chemistry, a lot of synergy here between the two of you. I feel like it is sexual, but I also feel like it's in other ways. Like, I think that you do stimulate this person mentally, and I think that's like a big, big plus, which brings me to the next thing that I actually want to talk about here between the two of you, because you are same, but different in terms of your intellect. So I feel like the way that you're the same is that you both are identified with intellect. Both, like, you self-identify with your like being intellectual, smart, curious, liking ideas, that kind of thing. But also other people, like when they think of you, if they describe you to people, they would describe you as someone who is very smart, very curious, maybe very associated like with your own worldview, like your own ideas on things. But where you're different is like your intellects are like the way that your brain works, how you approach things. It's so different from one another. It's absolutely different from one another. And I'll talk more about that, but I feel like you and how your mind works, you're a lot more comfortable with that idea. But this person, the way that their intellect works, they're less comfortable with it. And so it's got them on the back foot a little bit, where they don't really know what to do. They recognize the intellect in you. They recognize the smarts, but they also know it's not like theirs. And I feel like that could frustrate them. And it also, they don't know what to make of it. So I think this person ends up projecting a lot of their own traits and how they interact with their own intellect onto you. But there's a real problem with that, because it couldn't be further from the truth. And part of that is like, this person does assert themselves through their ideas, through pattern finding, and through their intellect. This person also might like be very like foot in mouth sometimes, where like their brain is just going, and then like before they realize it, it's popped out of their mouth and it came out in like a crude way. It wasn't polished. It wasn't like refined. It wasn't considerate, and it just rubs people the wrong way. I think this person can be kind of prone to that, which may be why you have this person blocked, or why you don't feel like you jive with this person, or why you don't feel like you get along with this person. Now, another thing that I want to say before I really start diving into the differences here, and like, because this person, it's like a bit of a call and response. They're learning about themselves while they're learning about you through watching their social media. There's this very interesting little dance that's going on here. And I feel like that was very divinely guided. Like this person's, guide team and stuff was really encouraging this person to develop feelings for you, develop this crush on you, to lead them to your social media in order for them to be able to watch and observe you, because you are very, very good at communicating. I feel you are cooperative, you're encouraging, like you have a sophisticated way of communicating that it's cooperative versus competitive. And I feel like this person has a lot of frustrations in their life, and a lot of it comes down to ego, but I'll discuss that more like when we get into their energy. But like this person kind of has blind spots, and they don't understand why they rub people the wrong way sometimes. They're unable to look at it. So by them developing a crush on you, this is giving them, it's supposedly, there's an opportunity for them to learn about themselves, and especially about the way that they use their mind and the way that they communicate. That really does rub people the wrong way, and it holds people back. Like that's, I feel like, a higher like perspective on this of like hoping that that soul lesson really does get learned. So, okay, let's talk about, well, okay, first of all, when they're watching you, the thing that they do observe is that they see that I think you're like a philosopher type. And just to be clear, that doesn't mean that you have to like read Plato and Aristotle in your free time and like espouse them from your social media. That's not what I mean. I mean, like you have a philosopher soul where you postulate and you ruminate and you think about things, the whys and the hows and the systems and the meaning behind things. You like to think about those things. I think you're an idea person and you like to like put that out like on your social media. So when this person sees your social media, they might see it as like a hub of people discussing ideas, discussing like different philosophies. You might be like, hey, I was thinking about this, maybe this like works this way, and you like throw it out on your social media, and you're like, well, what do you think? And you legitimately do learn from other people's perspectives and their ideas and how they think about things and like their opinions, and it's all like very tolerant. The other thing is like this person is watching your social media and it's like a place where people share in their skills. There could be some kind of, I don't know what social media this person's watching you on, because if you've blocked this person on like your personal sites, like your personal social media, maybe you're a part of like a Skillshare site where you get together with people in order to share your art, or to do art projects or something like that. It could be something that is skill-based, skill-related, but this person knows that you go to that site. And so they kind of watch like in the background, and they're supposed to be watching on like how cooperative everything is because you are so cooperative, This person also sees you being successful. They see like maybe you're running away with it. You're really gaining traction. They see you as someone who is like honestly just very creative, very warm, very beautiful. Maybe you have a lot of ideas. There's just so much energy. It's like really good. This is just like a center, like a hub of energy. And they see you as somebody who's very sexy, very attractive, but also someone who is like, there's a blockage here. There's some kind of argument. There's some kind of disagreement. There's definitely an impasse here. So in terms of this person's intellect, this is somebody who they actually do catch on to things very, very quickly. And it can like lead them to getting bored. I feel like this person is like intellectually voracious. Like they are always on to the next thing. But at the same time, like if you put this person in a school setting and they've got to wait for all 30 other kids in their classroom to kind of catch up, then they can get like really, really bored and maybe act out and lose interest in something. This is a person who's a very good problem solver. They're really good at, I think this is someone, maybe they're very tactile. They really like to get in there themselves and understand something. Like they're maybe, as an example, right, more inclined to like take something apart and put it back together and like do it by trial and error in that way versus necessarily like reading the manual right off the bat or being curious about a topic and then like their go-to is grabbing a book about it. I feel like this person is more experiential. They just want to like dive in and see if they can't like, figure something out. So what that does in terms of this person's intellect is their intellect, their thoughts behind things actually become very personal to them. And it's actually, I think this person's overly identified with that in some type of way, that where it becomes a bit of this person's ego identity. And I want to jump into that. I want to talk kind of like, I'm seeing differences and I want to describe it in terms of the Myers-Briggs, but I'm just like on a roll with this person right now. I also feel like this person, they could have grown up in a household where maybe there was a lot of comparison between them and like the other students in their class, or between them and siblings, like especially, not necessarily, but especially if they had siblings that were close in age. It'd be like, well, Timmy did well in history when he was in 7th grade, why aren't you doing so well? But maybe it's just because this person was like bored. It's not that they're not smart, it's not that they're not getting it, but there could have been like a lot of competition or a lot of comparison. And I feel like this person is kind of sick of that. They're always kind of like trying to prove themselves maybe in that way, like quickly. Another thing is they could have come from like a household where maybe they come from a cultural background like a big Greek family or like a big Italian family where people are just like loud, and boisterous. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you want to get your perspective across or you want to make your joke or anything, like you've got to be loud and like direct and like forceful and get it in there, otherwise you're not going to be heard. So there's something that has contributed in this person's background for them being very forceful and competitive, maybe even with their communication. And that's like the primary difference between the two of you, is that this person is competitive and that you are cooperative. But how I would describe this in terms of the Myers-Briggs is like with you, I think that you might have like what they call internal feeling. So you're not polling the group like, okay, everybody, how do we feel about this? Like your feelings are private. They're your own. You're going to decide for yourself how it is that you feel about a person or how it is that you feel about anything. But in terms of thoughts and ideas and information that you pitch out to the group, you kind of pull out, like, okay, here's what I was thinking about this. This was my idea on this. What's everybody else thinking? What's everybody else's data look like? That's why, like, I think that you might like to like read books and be interested in history and philosophy, because you like to gather other people's like opinions, other people's perspectives, because you can learn more that way, like gathering more that way than just your own perspective. And it's not that one, like in the Myers-Briggs, it's not that one way is better than the other. They both have their parts to play, like in society, So contrast it to this person, right? Where I feel like this person might have, I don't know if they have externalized feeling. Maybe they do, where it's like, okay, how's everybody feeling? How are we feeling about this? That's how they decide how they feel about things, perhaps. But what I'm strongly getting, though, is that internal thinking. This person's thoughts, their ideas about things, that they come to, it's internal. They don't poll the group to see what everybody's thinking about things, They don't care what all the scientists say, about this topic or that topic. They have come to their own conclusions, right? Based on their own like experience and whatever. So the benefit of this, like, right, where over here I was saying the benefit of like how you see the world and how you think about things is you can pull on so many different people's thought processes at once and you can learn from all their experiences, right? Whereas this person is the type that's like an explorer. They're an inventor. They're a creator. They're the ones that come up with like new, novel, interesting ideas from the place of like experience, to add like to the pie. Also, your type of person can still come up with ideas too, but it's more in like that philosophical realm, whereas this is like a doer kind of person, But that's where it gets intertwined with their ego identity. And that's really gets in this person's way, because remember I was saying this person has blind spots, like don't really know whenever their ego is active. Now, one of the ways that this person's ego gets activated is, like I said, they are overly identified with their thoughts. So they take it as like a personal affront when somebody espouses an opinion that is different than theirs, an idea, a worldview. They're kind of a funny mix because they take that as a personal affront, but at the same time, they want to be allowed to make up their own mind and they're like have their own thoughts about something, and they want everybody else to be able to too. And then may the best idea win. It's like that competitive kind of a thing. And so whenever that happens, like whenever somebody has a difference in opinion, then this person can assert their own opinion and throw it in there. But this person is like impulsive, and they can be argumentative, they can be competitive, they could be not very tactful. And so this person's ego, right? Ego is always associated with defense. So this ego defends itself and protects itself. It protects its structure by lying to this person and saying they think, oh, these people, they're stupid and they can't handle the truth. They don't like my ideas because they project out. They're overly identified with their own point of view. So they don't want the inconvenience of like having to know the truth. So they think that it's contextual. They think that the problem that people have with them is contextual, when really it's all about delivery. This person is just not nice, like in the way that they say things. They don't make room for everyone else. Another way like this person's mind works, I feel like I'm just trying to get to know this, okay? But like they like you a lot and they want to change and they want to be different from you for you. And we'll talk about that here in just a second, but just like to keep going with this. Oh, that kind of just flew out of my mind. But yeah, this is a person that just struggles in that way, that doesn't understand that, like, this could be a person that's like the best mechanic in town, and they're like, I don't understand why nobody wants to come to my mechanic shop. I'm literally the best mechanic. But it's like people would have to like talk with you, and they rub people the wrong way because they're not cooperative. Do you know what I mean? Dang, whatever I was going to say just flew out of my mind. Maybe it'll come back. But then, so like I was saying, though, this person's watching your social media because they're very drawn to you. And they do find you to be incredibly attractive, and they see that you're like running away with it and being very successful, maybe because of some kind of skill and communication that you have, and they're recognizing that. And they're also trying to figure out how they can communicate with you in a way that will have them be successful in terms of like actually building a relationship with you, actually having synergy with you. The other thing is that this person is seeing you. This person projects a lot, okay? But this person is seeing you. I think it's that whole thing where you've challenged their worldview, and so they've taken it as a personal affront, but you don't see it that way at all. But another thing is, I feel like there is, like, you're a person, like you have ideas, right? And you put them out there, but some of your ideas, at least one of them, it has really hit this person in their foundation. And that's what this person's prone to, right? They're prone to just wanting to hurry up, like, and get to what it is that they want to get to. So they're prone to taking these like shortcuts, you know, where they're like gathering all this information up in order to try and put you or whatever subject like in a category. So it's like mental shorthand so that they can like just relate to the category. So this person is very prone to black and white thinking, which means that they can demonize, like it might be idealizing you and then demonizing you. Like it could be that, like, as long as you're doing things that are in line with them, they can idealize you, but then, you know, could easily turn. It could be that. But this person can be quite prone to black and white thinking, but it's this way of taking mental shortcuts. And that works really well when you're dealing with machines and technology, but not when it comes to people. So that's why people feel judged by this person, is because there's a reductionist viewpoint of like people feel reduced and not seen in like their nuance, you know? And so it just rubs people the wrong way. And so in terms of that, this person, like I said, they're very prone to like gathering all this stuff and then moving quickly on to the next thing, which means if they make a mistake, they've piled 15 layers on top of it by the time they've caught on. So then they've got to go back. They've got to go all the way back. They got to completely destroy all of this in order to fix it, in order to make it right. And so in terms of people and in terms of their relationships, and they may well have done this with you, they just assumed something. They got you wrong in some way. And then they built a whole bunch of stuff on top of it. And then they're like, whoopsie, that was probably really painful. Actually, I don't even think this person thought that. But like they just don't think like that. You know what I mean? So then they've got to go like all the way back through. But I also feel like there's one of your ideas or something that you could have said that shook this person's foundation, like their foundational core beliefs about something, maybe about love, maybe about how they've structured their life, and they can't put it down. Okay, but this person, because you've blocked them or because you're having a disagreement and this person wants to come at you, they want to argue with you because it's just the way they are. Like they want to like put their viewpoint out and just argue with you as a means of like dealing with it. At least though, I feel like this person has at the very least learned that you're not going to get anywhere with anyone doing that. You could have like a fake little conversation, especially with someone like yourself who's like very nice and socially competent and like aware, but it doesn't mean that they think highly of you and that they want to build a relationship with you. So like, what's your end game? Like what's the goal? Like you're not going to hit the ultimate goal. This person, I feel like this person has had a lot of pain in their personal relationships because they learned some bad habits early on. But they're starting to unpack that now. So anyways, you have said something here to this person that has shaken it and they want to like come at you, but spirit has them in a way where it's like you've been blocked. Your opinion's not wanted here because of how you come across. This person at the very least knows that. So they have to put a lot of thought into how they're going to put something through in order to get to be successful. Now, heads up on this, a lot of times like this type of person can go passive aggressive at first, you know, where they're still saying the aggressiveness because they want to communicate that they think you're stupid. You know, or that you're wrong. And they're not tolerant in like, well, let me try to see it from your point of view. Hasn't crossed this person's mind. Hasn't crossed this person's mind. You and all these other people with different opinions than them, you're wrong. You're just flat wrong. But for some reason, this person likes you. They love you. I think you're a bit untouchable. They see the flowering that comes from your life, and time will only tell if this person is able to learn from it and really actually integrate it into who they are. Otherwise, it's going to be like beating your head against the wall to be in a relationship with this person on any level. But this person sees you as a type of soulmate. Another thing that I'm getting is like, this person is the King of Pentacles. So they want to set themselves up. This person's so prideful. I even feel like just describing where it's like, this isn't working. This is dysfunctional. I think this person, when they stop, they're good at patterns. And they're like, only when they dominate people and they overpower people do they stick around. Like, this person has to be honest with themselves in regards to that. It's so frustrating. But I feel like this person wants to set it up. They want to figure out what it is that you want because they want to lure you to their abundance. Like where they're like, oh, you want this? I have this. I have this in spades, right? Because I'm picturing this King of Pentacles with the pentacle here, like it's shiny and made of metal. And you know how like when the sun hits your phone and it like, you can shine the light on the wall and everything. And you can like, if you wanted to be like an a-hole, you could shine it in someone's eye to get their attention. That's what this person kind of wants to do with you. They're not saying anything. They're just trying to like get your attention with like a light. They're trying to shine a light in your eyes. Like that's what they feel like you did to them. So they're trying to do the same thing back to you in order to get you to be like, oh, like maybe I want to come back to this person. This person's kind of controlling, to be honest. But I don't think they would describe themselves that way. They would just think they know better than everybody. And that's an attitude that's going to leave you lonely in the end. And the problem is you can't talk to this person about their attitude. Like whenever it shows itself, this nasty pattern, it comes up in conversation. And so this person, their ego can lie to them and say, this person, or these honestly myriads of people at this point in this person's life, they only have a problem with you because they can't handle the truth, because they're mentally inferior. Instead of, these people have a problem with me because I don't know how to communicate in a way that is happy, polite, and cooperative. And because I don't take the time to get to know people. It's because I'm reductionist. I can't take the nuances in a person. I don't allow them to show me all their pretty colors and to be different in every scenario. I strip things away in order to get to what I want to get to. And then I put a whole lot of weight on those things. And then I'm surprised when they come up to be false. And so I reduce people down. I have this black and white thinking. And when I talk to people and I mirror their energy back, it's this incredibly reduced way that frankly comes off very judgmental. So that's a lot for this person to have to own up to and admit to themselves. And you're like the exact opposite energy where you delight in people. You delight in people's differences. You encourage them to express themselves in their own unique, interesting, dynamic, creative way. And I feel like you get excited, like, to see the different combinations and the different synergies. But this person, because they can't, Jesus said in the Bible, like, first remove the log from your own eye. This person doesn't know how to view other people because they haven't done the very basic thing of just removing their own prejudice, their own distortions from their own eye in order to see that. Then they can be able to see other people for who they truly are. But instead, this person, it's like they're always looking through a distorted lens and they don't know that. So part of like what it is when they look at you is they see strategy where there really isn't any. This is your like expression and it's beautiful and it's cooperative, but this person uses their intellect to assert themselves and that's what they think you're doing. So they think that this is a show. and that there's some kind of like hidden strategy behind what it is that you do because that you want some kind of power or something like that. So you are fundamentally different from this person. I'm just going to get some ones to come out too. Okay. I will just say this, like, that's kind of bothering me because I feel like if you do hang out with this person, they're going to be like, so give me this skinny on, like, we're on the same level. Like, you know, you can tell me, like, you know, we're both like powerful because of our intellects, right? And you're going to be like, what? Like, it's going to completely like catch you the wrong way. You're going to be like, this is who I actually am. Like, and it tells you a lot about this person, that like how they communicate in their relationships. It's a strategy to get to what they want out of a person. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like sexually exploitative or anything like that, although for some people it could be. But it's like they communicate with an agenda, and I feel like otherwise they probably wouldn't communicate or something like that. Okay, they want to hang out with you one-on-one. They're trying to strategize like how to do this because I feel like they see you interacting with a number of people, like in a group, that kind of thing. Are you happy without me? Probably. This person's stressing me out. I'm afraid you won't understand. That's the kind of bull. I almost cursed. That's the kind of bull that this person says. They feel like they're entitled. Like, I'm just going to be a jerk to everyone, and then I'm going to turn it around and be like, I'm just afraid that you won't understand. You, who's like an incredibly tolerant person. You're like open-minded, but you don't tolerate nonsense. This is bad behavior. That's what this person refuses to admit. This is bad behavior, and if you did this in a tribal situation, you would be ostracized because you can't run the risk of the community like falling apart around one sourpuss. Like, you know, my job has been really stressful. It's all I really think about. I'm kind of over this person, to be honest. Like, it's not right. I think you may be the most compassionate person I've ever met. So they want to pull on your compassionate strings to be like, well, you just won't understand. Like, that's part of their strategy, this person. You're so different than I thought you'd be. I want to travel somewhere with you. I try to show off for you. This person's trying to pull you into their remit so then they know how to act and behave. When they're on your turf, which spirit has put them on your turf, let's get that clear. There's strategy in that. But you didn't do it. This was like their guides were like, this person, we can't get through to them. They've no personal accountability when it comes to how they impact other people. They're very reductionist. And you're very sophisticated in terms of that. And they're drawn in. They see the fruits of it. Because this person is like results driven. They are. And they can see the fruit of your path, of your strengths, of your mindset, of your worldview. But they're not attributing it to path, mindset, and worldview. They're attributing it to strategy. And that's very different. There is a side to me I'm not sure you would understand. Why won't you tell me how you really feel? There's something fundamentally different between us. It is everything about like how your intellect, how you approach things. Now, if this person was willing to give a little bit and not be so prideful and assumptive and reductive, I feel like maybe you could actually entertain a relationship with them. I want to make it up to you. The thing is, like, that's too narrow of a focus. To make it up to you or to anybody else that this person's hurt, they need to look at themselves. It's like, here, let me make it up to you. I'll take you out to dinner. Like, what's a dinner going to do? Like, be better, you know? I always feel so good when I'm around you. I feel like I have to say the things that, like, you won't say. I feel like you are very tolerant and you're very compassionate towards this person, but you probably have these thoughts that I'm saying of, like, it's just impossible to be around you, dude. Like, it's not healthy. Yeah, because, well, I just saw the trust card. Relationships are built upon trust. You have to trust that somebody's not going to fly off the handle or be reductionistic, like, in order to open up. This is why this person gets frustrated in conversation, too. It's like, they're not the type of person that people just open up to because people don't feel safe to. And maybe if they do feel safe to, it takes like a bajillion years, you know, compared to you. Okay, I saw weight. Like, this person doesn't want to lose you. They might think that you're moving on with other people. They could think that other people have strategies like around you. The thing is, this is exhausting. There is a possibility of this relationship being revived, but it's completely on this person, I feel like. Obstacles, look at this. Unhealed wounds are blocking forward movement, mostly on this person's side. Decision. Finances. Financial challenges are affecting this connection. Balance. One person is giving too much in this relationship. If you got into a relationship with this person, you would be the one who carried like the social relationship. You would make a lot of accommodations for this person and their bad attitude and their inability to communicate. This person needs like therapy, and they need to read like conscious communication. They need to start from square one in how they communicate with people. I do think that this person likes to communicate through sex. They might want to get you in a sexual situation so that they can make you understand how important you are to them. I feel like this person might be very skillful in the bedroom, but it doesn't make up for the fact that they are uncooperative. I'm sorry, I'm feeling very protective about your energy because this person isn't good enough for you. That's my personal opinion, and I don't say things like that in readings, but flat out, this person is not good enough for you, pile number one. Soulmate. Your soulmate loves, accepts, and respects you unconditionally. But this person, it's like, I feel like that's your energy, but this person has conditions. They are drawn to the fact that you are smart and that you can sling some insights in their direction, but they really don't have like respect enough for the process, I feel. Denial, detach with love to clearly see the truth. That's for this person. What do you need to know? I think it is time for you to decide about this person. What does pile number one need to know? Okay, use your intuition. You already know the answer you seek. And it's safe to make the move that you're considering. It's time to decide about this relationship. This has been a destined partnership. I do feel that there are other forces that are leading the two of you together. Perhaps you are also needing to understand, because I think you're so tolerant. You are so tolerant. You are so cooperative, where you need to kind of know, like, there's always going to be a place, like, you can't negotiate with Hitler. And I'm not saying this person's Hitler, but there's always a line where it's like, you can be tolerant to a point, but you can't tolerate someone who feels like you should literally wipe out people. You know what I mean? There's a limit to all of these things. And this is someone who could prey upon that, who could be like, well, I guess you're not tolerant. That's going to be the more maligned of, not all of these people are going to be that way, but the more fucked up people could possibly say that kind of thing. Because this person does have a very strong ego. And you can hit their ego eloquently. And they're drawn to it. I feel like this person, if they had you, they would just disrespect you. That's how it goes, I think, for this person. They're a user. And maybe they see you getting some kind of success for yourself, and that's what they're after now. Now all of a sudden that's love to them. I don't like this person. I'm not a fan. So if you're taking polls, might I suggest not taking this person's? Wink. If they have a man part, I'd stay the hell away from it. So that's what I have, you guys. Pile number one. I'm so sorry that this is what's happening in your world. This person's probably sexy, but they're too much. This is too much. So that's what I have for you guys. Sorry, this was a bit of a downer, but they are watching your social media if that's on your mind. Bye, guys. pile number 2, does this person watch your social media? This one's hard. Yeah, this one's hard to say. I think it's yes and no. And let me tell you why I think that. But first, I feel like this is going to be one of those piles, like only take what resonates for your situation. That's every single tarot reading that you do ever. But especially here for this pile, because I feel like a lot of people might have chosen this pile and there's a lot of different like situations and circumstances. So if it doesn't resonate with you, don't hold on to it. Just let that go. So the first thing that I'm getting is I think that you know or knew this person through a company, through like work. So there's definitely like a company and a community here. So maybe there's like a group of work friends or something here like that. So I'm kind of getting that if this person wants to find out about you, they don't necessarily need to go to your social media. They have other means of doing that. Like maybe this person hears things about you through your shared work friends or something like that. Or they could reach out to a shared friend or something like that in order to ask like, something that they wanted to know about you or something like that. The other thing that I'm getting is there's something here about like very powerful, unexpected messages. The kind of messages that like really shake things up, that kind of like change something. Now that might be from you. Like if you reached out to this person and it was completely unexpected and it was like out of left field, then this person might get curious and then wonder about something and then go to your social media page. That's definitely something, but also like with this company, right? And especially like through work friends, maybe they hear certain things like about the company or something like that. Or maybe this was quite like a large company with like a broad network. So maybe they make announcements like on the news or something. So if this company issues some kind of like unexpected statement, like maybe they're closing down or they're laying off a bunch of people, or they're rolling out some kind of new policy that's going to affect everything, like, whatever that is, then I feel like as well, they might then like go and seek out this information about you. Oh, the other thing is, how on social media, like if a natural disaster happens, and you can mark yourself safe, then I feel like if something like that happens, then they would think like in your area or something, then they think of you and they go to your social media page to see if you posted anything or to see if you marked yourself safe. That's another thing. I feel like there are these distinct moments, like when this person thinks of you and then they go and they check you out, like what it is that you're doing. But I don't think that this is the type of person that's just, constantly watching your social media to see like, what it is that you are, what it is that you're doing every single day, or like what it is that you're putting out. This is actually a very busy person, I think, and there's mastery that is indicated here. I feel like this person is building mastery in something. Now, okay, another thing, even when their interest gets piqued about you, I'm not sure they're going to your personal social media page, okay? So like this company, right, might have a website, or it might have a Twitter, an Instagram, it might have social media. And maybe this is your company or a friend's company, something like that. Or your brand, like, I don't know, this one's hard for me. So, then it would go to like, they would go to the company's social media page or something. And if it's your company, then like they kind of like associate you with that company, like what's going on with you, what's going on with your like personal life. Now, okay, I want to talk about this person for a second because this is a really interesting person that you're asking about. I'm actually wondering if a lot of you are asking about readers, tarot readers, or somebody who does have some kind of like intuitive or psychic capacity, because that would be another way that they could, like, just if they want to know what's up with you, if they're a reader that reads for themselves, they could pull a card, or I think they would know other readers that they could, if they don't read for themselves, because I don't read for myself, like, if like they're curious about that, then they probably have somebody that they go to and they do like an exchange with or something that could pull a card. to see what it is that you're up to. That's another possibility here as well. But I want to talk about this person's energy because this is a very interesting person. And I think I've gotten their energy before on my channel because they strike me as a bit of a canary in the coal mine, because this is a person who is very perceptive. Very, very, very perceptive. This person reads people very well, and they're powerful with it because I don't think they necessarily give up too much. I think this person has a strong poker face. But why I call them the canary in the coal mine is because this person has a way, has just a means about them where they really do sniff out details. They just kind of like, again, I'm not trying to make you feel paranoid or anything. Like, I don't think this person's maligned for most of you. I mean, this is a general reading. You like follow your own intuition always. But I just feel like this person is very, very good at picking up on details and picking up when things aren't right. Like with a person where they're like, something's off about that person. I don't know. It like gives me the EBGBs a little bit, you know? Or like when something's going on in a company and they're like, I don't really know about that. Like, this person has like kind of an intuition where like little red flags will go off. And I don't think it goes off all the time for this person, but it just really stands out when something's wrong. So I'm just saying, like, this is the type of person where like if they're moving away from a person, or if they're moving away from a noun, a person, place, or thing, I'm moving away from it too. But like it might be actually really hard to read this person because I think they don't give too much away. Like, I think this is a very friendly, very polite person, and they don't really let on a lot of their thoughts, especially about like people. But they'll think to themselves in their mind, like, something's wrong with that person. Something's off with that person. But at the same time, this person has an incredible poker face, because at the same time, the last thing you want to do, if you suspect that you are dealing with a toxic person, you probably already know this. The last thing you want to do is let them know that you're on to the fact that they're toxic. Because the second that you even hint that you're on to the fact that they're a toxic person, or that there's a toxic energy that's going on around, that's when that maligned person will go on the attack, right? They'll start making up things, spreading rumors, trying to undermine your credibility, right? So, and this person seems like to be very astute and very aware about stuff like that. So even if this person thinks that something ain't quite right, I don't think they really give it up all that much. And I feel like that's relevant to your connection with this person, because this person hasn't quite made up their mind about you. I've gotten that message before as well, I know. They haven't. They're open to you. And I think this person has just a natural liking for you, because the one thing that this person doesn't like and cannot stand is glib and superficial charm, which I feel like is excellent, because that is one of the markers for a narcissist, that you are dealing with someone who's a narcissist, you know, someone who's kind of vapid and they're all sparkles, but they're no substance. It's like a lot of hot air, a lot of advertising, but not a lot to actually back it up, you know? This person just really doesn't like a snake oil salesman kind of a vibe. And they don't see you as that. They see you as somebody who is very skilled. Like you produce something of value. Like you're a hard worker, you know, like, cause again, I think that you know this person from work. So they see that you're like actually talented, you're actually skilled, you're not blasting out a whole lot of hot air. But the thing that makes this person, I think, a little bit unsure is that there's a mix of people around you, okay? And there's a mix of people. Some of them are cool, and some of them are authentic and chill and nice. But then others of them, I do think, have this like glib and superficial charm kind of vibe to them. And you're like maybe right in the middle, or this is just like a toxic company culture where there's a blend, and this person is just unsure about where it is that you stand on that line. Like, okay, are you tolerating this? Because, you know, we all like, this is, I feel like, a very reasonable person as well. I actually really like this person's vibe. Because they're coming off a bit like a reader, you know, but like, I feel like this person is very reasonable. Like they understand that to a certain degree, all of us have to put on like, you know, our world faces, our customer service faces, you know, like, how are you doing? Like, you know, very polite, you know, but we don't have to go the extra mile and be like, oh my gosh, Linda, you know, or that kind of like over the top kind of sparkly, you know, whatever. And so this person kind of knows that. So this person kind of looks at you and they're like, are you like me? Are you a kindred? Are you just kind of tolerating all this and putting up with all of this because we got to get by? Do you see that there's a lot of toxic nonsense that goes on here too? Or are you bought in, like hook, line, and sinker? And I think that there's a particular relationship here that this person reflects on. There's a primary person that is around you that is very glib and very superficial. I don't know if this is like a business partner or it's like, you know, manager, assistant manager. If it's just like a friend that you have, there's a relationship here that this person reflects on when it comes to you where they're like, I don't know. That's what kind of makes me go, I don't know about this person. Because why would they be so close with so-and-so? If they were like me, if they weren't really buying into it, why is that their best friend? You know, why is that their business partner? Why are they in a relationship with that person who has this quality of like glib and superficial charm? You know, it might even have to do with communication. But again, it's like this person doesn't know if it's like, I think you have friends around you that there's, you know, and work colleagues and things that are genuine and that are authentic. But there is like one relationship where it's like, why would that person trust that person who is like so vapid and just all talk and really no substance? Like, why is that their business partner? Why is that? Like, why do they trust that person? And that kind of like throws it into doubt where they're like, did they just get sucked in by this person? Like, did they just kind of buy into it? Or are they just getting by in their day job? Like, you know, just kind of like we all are, trying not to really make waves. They can't quite figure it out. Now, there's another thing here about this communication, because there's an energy around you that this person thinks is toxic. Okay. And it could be a company culture. It could be a person. It could be a few people, right? That's what I'm strongly getting. For some of you, it's a company culture, a company image, a company brand. Like everything is all image. There's something here about that. It's all image and it's no brand, but they actually see that you are of substance. Anyways, and for some of you, it's a single person. And I think for some of you, it's like, there's a group of people, there's like a clique, you know, that maybe you are around or your image is associated with, something like that. Now, when they think about communicating, this person, like I said, there's an energy that they feel is toxic and that they don't want around them. So they are afraid that if they communicate with you, that will come to an end for some reason, because either they misread you, because they're open to you, actually. They think of you as somebody in their broader network of friends. They have a lot of hope here for this relationship. They're open to you, but they're wary. This person's wary. They kind of want to like sit back and observe you a little bit more, because they feel like if they did reach out to communicate, well, what if you are toxic? What if you're best friends with this person? What if you chose a toxic business partner because you agree with them, because that's your favorite person, because you like that glib and superficial charm? Obviously, I don't think you do, or I wouldn't be talking to you so candidly, you know, like this, like, oh, nobody is like, I super love fake people. I just can't get enough. You know what I mean? So this person, but I'm telling you, that's what's on their mind is, okay, well, if they communicate with you, then this peace and this solace that they have of keeping people, this kind of energy that's around you away, it's going to come to an end. Or they think that their peace and their solitude is going to come to an end because this is a package deal, because where you go, you can't separate yourself out from this toxic energy. It opens the door for these toxic people or this toxic mindset to get back into this person's life, and they just don't want to risk it, because this is a person who's healing. They're healing. May could be important. Maybe you're dealing with a May Gemini, so later in May, or there's something about that time period in regards to a business or in regards to a company. Yeah. So this person, just basically what it comes down to, I think, is this person feels safer at a distance. I do think they're curious about you. They want to kind of like figure you out. I think it makes this person genuinely happy to hear from you, not necessarily your friends and whatever this nonsense is over here. Like, but this person is genuinely happy to hear from you. And I think they do kind of try to figure out, like, what's going on in your life in terms of like these messages that they hear, even if it's work related, you know, even if it's like about a company, they do like actually try to figure this out. This person thinks highly of you. They think you break the mold, but they also think that there's some sort of like argumentative relationship that's around. So either they think you don't like this toxic energy either, and it's cause for contention, and maybe you just kind of try to get away from it in whatever ways that you can, like coping, just like they did. Or then you and this person have some struggles, have some frustrations. That's kind of what they're thinking. And they don't really know which it is. So, but this person, they kind of try to, this is like a very, very observant person. Very, very, and very smart as well. But I think part of their protection, part of their like whole scheme is they don't let on to people how smart and how astute they are. But this is a person who's aware. They're plugged in. They pick up on things. And it doesn't feel paranoid or anything like that. But just when something doesn't jive together. Another thing is maybe they feel like you talk through a group. Like you don't, they could wonder if you don't see eye to eye. But I've already mentioned that a lot. But like, the communication with you don't really communicate with each other a lot directly. It's always like around another issue, or it's around this company, or it's around a mutual friend, you know, or something like that. So like around and around you go, you know, in terms of, oh, look, there's 3 10s. So 3 10s means that somebody has made a conclusion on people or property. Maybe the property is a business. There could have been a decision about a business. Maybe that's something they're associating with you, or they have made up their mind about this group of people and they think that something here is toxic and they want to move away from it. They've made a choice, and it looks to be pretty final here, but it's weird because it is final, but they are open to you. But I think it's like, if you're not cool with toxic energy, you need to make it very clear to this person. I mean, maybe it'd be weird to be like, just so you know, when we worked at this company together, that was an absolute nightmare. Like, and I just did what I had to do to get by. Like, I don't know, like, how you could communicate that, but I think it does need to be communicated that, like, what this person that's all flash and nothing actually substantive, or this company policy, you just need to call it out right. Like, I don't vibe with that. Okay? I don't vibe with it. Okay, so let me get some messages here from this person. Okay. I'm not where I want to be. I'm working towards my goals. So, okay, I'm definitely getting that this person, they have a lot of goals. They're busy doing something in a routine way. So that's also a reason why they're not checking your social media, because this person has a lot going on. They're going after their goals. They're putting a lot of work in. This person's also pretty, they have a routine that they do, and maybe they need to like have their concentration. Like I was saying before, I feel like this person, they're working on breaking their own mold, and they're building mastery in something. Look, this is a warning from the universe. Keep your wits about you. That's what I'm picking up on. This person, that's how they feel. There's a big flashing warning sign in this situation. They're keeping their wits about them. I love looking at your pictures, looking good. So I feel like whenever, maybe this person sees your pictures on their friend's social media or on their friend's like business website, you know, or I feel like, yeah, they could see your pictures and they think that you're looking good. It's been so long. Have you forgotten about me? Maybe this is, maybe there has been like this person might assume that you forgot about them. Like if you're here thinking about this person, I think they would be surprised to know that perhaps. I've been through worse. I'll be fine. What would you think if you knew? Okay. You are comfy blanket, rainy morning, big breakfast vibes, and I love it. Yeah, this person does like you. There's just some things around you that they're like, I don't know what to make of that. I really like pile number 2, but man, they have the worst taste in friends, or like something like that. I want to tell you how I feel. They may want to speak with you openly about this toxic environment, about this toxic person, about this toxic like something and just be like, listen, like they just want to level with you about it so that they can maybe let you back in their life or just make up their mind so they can draw a conclusion about you or about this place that like draws the two of you together. But yeah, this person likes you, like you for you as an individual. If you didn't have this energy around you, I think you'd be best friends. Like I think you're different. You and this person are very different in some way, maybe a way that's obvious, but and maybe in a way that's non-traditional. Like you both kind of go off the beaten path a little bit. But this person thinks you'd have a lot to say with each other. And maybe you'd even go into business together, some of you. Because this person respects you in that way. They respect your work ethic. They think that you are substantive of a person, that you are not glib and superficial charm. So there's not a problem with you, per se. Or they're not sure if there is or not. But I think like when they just think of your energy, separate from all this, they like you. They like you. Yeah. They think the world of you. I do feel like it's something online. Online communication, it has to do with a business. Or maybe you have some kind of visibility or success in terms of your communication. Some of you could even run like a very prominent business. And so when your business like tweets out something, then this person thinks about that in terms of you. You know? They think it reflects maybe something about you. That could be what's confusing this person about your intentions. This one is like a very interesting one. I'm very curious to see if that resonated. They feel like it requires some kind of further thought, like this situation. But at the same time, I think that they're not willing to risk like whatever toxic energy is. They're not willing to risk it getting around them. They want to contain it, is what I'm hearing. Yeah. Or just shove it off to the side and never think of it again. Something like that. They see you as very skillful, though. Very skillful. Good at communicating. If there's any part of communicating in your job, which I know it's the modern world, so probably there is, or decision making, this person thinks you're really, really good at that. So, that's what I'm getting for you guys, pile number 2. If it resonated, please, I would love to know in the comments. But also, if you want to like and comment and subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome too. Bye, guys. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I didn't get any of these. Intuition. Yeah, so this person is very intuitive. Very, very intuitive. And they're following their intuition here. Look, chemistry. The attraction you feel is mutual. So this person feels drawn to you. And however, I feel like the feelings are mutual here. So if you feel a type of chemistry with them, they feel a type of chemistry with you. Look, warning. Don't dismiss the red flags here. Get one more. Friendship. This friendship is leading to more. So this person may want to wade into things with you. So if you are friends that maybe want to start a business together, this person wants to like be friends first. Get to know you, make sure you're not toxic, and make sure that you know what this toxic thing is. It would be great, I think, for this person if you brought it up, because they want to talk with you about it, I think. But if you're the one who says, this ain't right, then it's going to make this person trust you a lot more, I think. Not that you should put on a show. I'm just saying if you notice it too, bring it up tactfully. Also, it could be that this friendship is leading to I think it's leading to something more visible, that there's that potential there. But for others of you, maybe this friendship is leading to a romantic situation here as well. I forgot. I made this liquid sage stuff and I forgot that I used it on some of my cards. Cool. Time apart. Some distance will help bring clarity. And there was a lot of distance in the cards that I was picking up on. And so I think they're trying to get distance in order to try and figure out how they're thinking about this. So that's what I have for you guys. Pile number 2. Bye. Okay. So pile number 3, does this person watch your social media? So the answer, the short answer, let's say, is yes, they look at your pictures. This person thinks that you are very, very attractive, and they're looking at your pictures to see what it is that you are up to. Now, here's the thing. Beyond that, it's going to matter where in this situation you are at, because there is a situation going on here for pile number 3. I feel like it's third party, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a third party that involves cheating. I just feel like there are 3 different people, 3 different perspectives here in this situation. I think that there is a masculine energy and a feminine energy that are in a relationship with one another, or they were in a relationship with one another. And that relationship is highly dysfunctional. Very, very much so. We'll get into that here in just a second. And then there's another person, place or thing, but I think for most of you it's a person, that is like the third party to this. And it might be a sexual third party, but it also might not be. It could be a friend. And that's the third energy that is here. Now, I'm going to call this, just for simplicity's sake, I think that there is a man and a woman and another woman, but it doesn't have to be. But this man that's in the middle of these 2 women, one of the women, and it's the woman that he's in a relationship with. I think this has been for quite a period of time. They possibly have children together. The cards are saying sons, but it doesn't have to be the case. Now, this woman is in a complete energy of deception. Okay, absolutely leads with deception. I feel like has 2 sides to her that really come out, although she really can be a siren here. So she knows how to turn it on in order to get whatever it is that she wants, and she'll go into Pisces modes, like, so that can be martyr or savior, maybe even use spirituality or emotion, could possibly use community, even if that community is within a family unit. But I feel like this particular energy likes to use men. And that includes like boy children, you know, in order to triangulate against this masculine energy that they're in a relationship with, in quotes. Now, like I said, this more toxic feminine energy here is in a total vibration of deception. Nothing about them is truthful. So they could be a compulsive liar. I do think they like to weaponize pictures, maybe sexy pictures. They maybe like to take pictures of their body on a beach or something like that. That's another thing, random. Only take what resonates. But there's a bit of like a smoke and mirrors type thing. So they may use pictures and social media to give off an appearance of themselves and their lives and their relationship, their relationships here with men in particular. Like, and like I said, this could be with children that are boys, with this person that they're in a relationship with. You get what I'm saying. Like, they might use social media in order to kind of portray something that's not really there. Like, portray something that's much healthier, much more attractive. They really like to gloss it up a little bit, right? Now, this is an energy that has 2 sides to them. So one of them is very angry, but in a way that is like flabbergasted. Their anger has like oh, I can't believe that you would do that to poor little old me, right? That like victim-y kind of like, but at the same time, it's like very aggressive and like very angry. But it's like they try to mask that by like that feeling of like, and then the other side to them is they can be petulant or like really stuck up, like nose in the air, you know, I'm too good for this, or like I'm opting out. But this person like oscillates back and forth between those particular modes. And this person is actually very, very aggressive. And I feel like they weaponize sex in order to get what it is that they want. So that's one energy that is here. And that's like a more toxic energy. And to be frank, you know, I do think that these people have like a kind of physical attractiveness, and some of them are here in this pile choosing this reading, right? And so because of that, I do just need to make this absolutely clear about who I am and, you know, where I stand on this and what exactly it is that I'm doing here. Because whenever I get a message like this where I need to kind of say truth to an energy like this that has been in a toxic pattern, there's always not very many, but there's always at least a comment or a couple of comments that are totally maligned, that are in this like like flabbergasted energy. They just can't believe that I would actually tell them the truth instead of being beholden to their ego in order to gain a subscriber or like to keep getting views. And it's very simple. That's not who I am, and that's not what motivates me, and that's not what drives me. So if that's the energy that you're in, you need to understand that I don't care about your ego. I'm more of the mindset if it can be destroyed by truth, that it should be destroyed by truth. And that I'm beholden to spirit. And I set the intention before I do these readings that I will give whatever messages need to come through for the highest vibrational good of all. And frankly, this person who's in this toxic energy, maybe it's you or maybe it's somebody else here in this situation. Part of this situation, how spirit is setting this up, is as a wake-up call for this person. Because they like to play innocent. And they like to duck and weave. They kind of start stuff, and this person's delusional. Like, they delude their own self as to their responsibility, their accountability in this. And then they get all aggro and they take it out on the truth, because this person that's in the energy of deception is essentially at war with the truth. And I'm not sure that that's really a place that you want to be in. But that's what's going on here for this person. It's incredibly exhausting. Like, at the end of the day, I don't think this person notices, because I think they've just been in this cycle for a long period of time. I also think there's something about this person that's small. So it could be that they're like smaller in stature, or they just play small. They play like the weak one. They play like the one that doesn't have any power, but really they're the one starting all the stuff. And it's not to say everybody around this person is perfect, but when you have this much of a deceptive, maligned energy, like, everyone else is kind of just trying to like react and survive and protect and defend, right? So this is the person that is in a relationship here with the masculine energy that I'm picking up here in the deck. It could be a male, it doesn't have to be, but this is a person who's in male, like action-oriented energy. And for a long time, this masculine energy here has been maybe the lapdog, but the guard dog, like, of this more toxic energy. They hup too whenever this person says. They buy into this person's delusions. And that's part of like a thing that narcissists are known for doing. They build a shared fantasy, and then they require the people around them and the people that they're in close relationships in to buy into that shared fantasy and then take action from it. So for a long time, this person who's been in this relationship with this deceptive person has fully bought into their shared delusion, and they act upon that shared delusion that really comes here for this person. So this is like a very toxic setup for people who believe in truth, or people who live an honest life, or who are not acting from this shared fantasy. It can get very, very destructive. And this more toxic person sits back because they're not the one acting on it. They light this person up. They send them out to do their dirty work. And then they're like, wow, I didn't know that person was doing that. They try to like absolve themselves, because even though they're whispering, they're the ones this is really the seed of it. But like this little setup that they have here, it's hard for these toxic actions that are made in delusion by this person to be traced back here to the real source of it, which is this person who's like a serious problem. So back to this more masculine energy, right? I do feel like they're not very well developed in love or in social relationships in general. They can be very reactive. And I think that this person's always trying to prove themselves. And this could have to do with like early relationships that they had with like a brother, especially competitive relationships where they could have been like very compared to other people. They always want to like measure up. So this person in their shared fantasy, that this toxic person gets to set the parameters by which this person is being judged. And maybe especially on their masculinity, on their sexuality, on their drive, on their competitiveness, something here like that. And I got to tell you, it is exhausting here for this person, this more masculine energy that is here. So they've been this person's like lapdog / guard dog, where as soon as this person says, oh, they play the damsel or something, and then this person jumps up to start barking and foaming at the mouth at somebody who's like kind and truthful and like in touch with reality. And I feel like this is the third energy that's here. So some of you are this toxic energy, I hope, and I think this is a smaller of number of people who have come here. Some of you are this masculine energy that's in this very dysfunctional relationship, and you're starting to wake up to the fact that you're in a dysfunctional relationship. And some of you have even already left. Others of you are making plans to leave this toxic relationship here. And then you have others of you who are this more third party, which I'll get to here in just a second. And like what's going on in this pile, for everybody who chose this pile, it's you're one of these people or the other asking about one of these people or the other. So not everyone who came to this pile is asking about the same person, if that makes sense. But the answer is still the same in regards to the social media question. Not that every single one of these people is looking at the other social media and pictures. For some of you, that'll certainly be the case because this is full of triangulation on purpose. That's another thing that narcissists are really known to do, is triangulating people in order for them to compete, right? Because it throws you off your kilter, and that instability in terms of competition and getting this person especially all whipped up in anger and agitation, it keeps them in control. It keeps them in power. But they do all of this from up in their ivory tower, and from like their own delusions, if that makes sense. So it could very well be that everybody's like looking at everybody's pictures and judging them and feeling competitive, because that's kind of the dynamic here. But it's not going to be the case for all cases. But whoever you are asking about, yes, they are watching your social media, they're looking at your pictures, and they find you to be very attractive. But like I said, beyond that, it's going to differ. Now I want to talk about this more like the third party energy that's here. So for some of you, this is your energy. And this is the person who stands in truth. Now this could be a friend who had the courage to tell this to this masculine energy. They didn't buy into like, oh no, I'm sure you guys are going to work it out. Everything's going to be okay. Like they actually told this person the truth. Like, look, I'm going to level with you. This isn't healthy. This isn't right. You deserve better than this. This other person deserves better than this. I really hope that everybody here can get help for their issues instead of just having it build and feed off of each other all the time. Like this is somebody who had the courage to speak the truth here to this person. And if it wasn't spoken, then again, it's energetic, because spirit is actually brought this other person in, I feel like, at this current time, because it's giving them this masculine energy, an honest perspective of this person that they're with, who is the opposite of truth. So these two like feminine energies that I'm picking up here, they're in opposite energies to one another. This toxic person is just in complete and utter illusion and delusion, which is untruth. And then this other third party stands in truth. So if you are this third party, you don't necessarily have to have, said this to this person. Like you could have, and I think a lot of people did. But you could just live your life in such an honest vibration of truth that it's giving this masculine energy here an honest perspective of what exactly is wrong with this relationship, and why are they buying into this person's delusions, and why are they buying into a shared fantasy and not living their life from any place that's real. And they're starting to realize that they have a lot to lose because of the impact here of this third party. And for a lot of you, there is sexual attraction here. So for instance, if you're this third party and you're asking about this masculine energy, yes, they look at your pictures. They find you to be very attractive. I feel like this person actually fantasizes what it would be like to be with a person like you. And then they start to think about all of the obstacles that are in their way in order for them to actually get there, for them to actually get to experience that as their truth, as their reality, for them to dismantle, because this is not just the dissolution of a relationship. This is a dissolution of a shared fantasy, and then a confrontation with self of like, how in the world did you fall for this? Like we've got to look at our wounds, right? What made us like a vibrational match to this? Like, why did I buy all of this hook, line, and sinker? You know what I mean? So there's a lot here that's going on here. This is a situation where there's a lot of learning that's going on, especially for these two people that are in a relationship. Because for this, it's like this person over here is toxic, and Spirit is saying, don't mince words about it. This is toxic. It's unacceptable. It shouldn't be allowed, But I do feel like Spirit is hoping that this person who is in this toxic, diluted energy is going to say, I am the cause of all of this, and I need to start dealing with my issues. Maybe I do need to get into some kind of program, or I need help figuring this out because I'm causing all of this chaos. Because that's the thing about this toxic energy, is they don't take personal responsibility. They believe their own delusions, like fully. They fully believe it. right? So there's poison here with the Knight of Wands. And I do feel like there could have been like dalliances or suggested dalliances or pictures that would have alluded to that, that like is trying to get this person all riled up. Now, here's the thing. If you are this more toxic energy that is here and you're like, oh, is this person jealous over me because I've been posting my sexy beach pictures, with all these other guys around? They're not. I think maybe for the first time they're not, because of this other energy, which is a friend or it's somebody else that actually has caught your person's eye, or it's some version of the truth. It could even be like a therapist, it's a truth speaker that spirit has moved in. Because of this other influence, this person's really starting to look at the situation like, this isn't sexy. This isn't healthy. I'm not jealous. I'm sad. Like, I think this person is like, I'm sad. It's kind of like a upset stomach feeling, where it just feels like, ew, and they feel sad for you too. Like this masculine feels sad for this feminine energy over here. Keep in mind, like, these are energies, and I'm trying to say it that way so that we can keep like it separate who I'm talking about here, but they could be different genders. It's just you have two polarized feminine energies here. It's the way that they're being that the cards and spirit are emphasizing to this more masculine energy who's trying to figure out, who might be a little bit more impulsive, reactive, competitive, hot under the collar sometimes. And that is what makes this person get kind of yanked around by the chain, to be honest. So that's part of the wake up call for this masculine energy, is to stop, because the spiritual masculine journey is to all of the masculine energies like start off as Mars. That's called the rudimentary sun there, to grow into the sun. The sun stays, it knows its truth, right? And this person is too reactive. So that's why they just keep getting yanked all around. They're supposed to wake up to that, maybe this person thinks that it's romantic for them to have to like jump to this person's defense instead of asking like, why is this person getting me into a bunch of fights? Now, I want to jump down here, but before I do, another aspect of this, like, I don't know if you can see this card. I'm going to put it down because I think some people don't like it when I lift the cards up, but I have to kind of do this for myself in my own brain because sometimes I get tactile when I read. But this person, right? Like, I feel like this toxic person sent this person out after this truth energy. It could be a person, it could be a friend, it could be a love interest, it could just be a concept or something, but they're like, oh, you've got to defend us against this truth, energy. And so this masculine energy was like, well, I always do what I'm told. So, like goes out after it and goes out with his spear and his shield. But look what he's doing. Because Mars is actually a very intelligent energy. If you have strong Mars, it's a quick mind. He's got the shield up to where this person can't see what he's actually doing. And on the shield is a dragon. So he's signaling here to this feminine energy, like, I'm off doing dragon stuff, like being all tough, I'm out, I'm doing my thing. And so this feminine energy, they're kind of a bit like, delusional and self-absorbed. There's just not a nice way of saying that. That's the truth of what this person is. And they would be like, because this person is allergic to the truth, but that is their truth. So they feel like it's an attack, like, if you say it, but they need to wake up to that. But anyways, so this masculine energy is, like the eye is even painted open on this dragon. Like, look, babe, I went out to do the dragon stuff. But really, this person's observing you. They've put their spear down. I think let's just personify this, because it's not going to be a person for everyone. This could be make it maybe like a psychological concept that's like talking about this Bonnie and Clyde stuff and just calling it out for the mess it is, but let's just say that this is a person. And so really they're blocking it off. They put their sword down. They're really observing this other energy. And if this is you, they're looking at your pictures. They're thinking that you're beautiful. And they're seeing the truth in what it is that you're saying, in who it is that you are. It's almost like you're reminding them. This is like metaphorically the reverse of like the Disney kiss, instead of like the prince kissing the princess and waking her up from her delusion, from her sleep. It's you have kind of like kissed this prince awake from this shared narcissistic fantasy that they were in for so long. And so this person's starting to kind of come to and realize that they've been played and that they have been not in a strong masculine energy. They've been more in this rabid dog, good boy, kind of an energy. And I think it's grossing them out a little bit. So the other thing is that this masculine energy stands to lose a lot. And I think they were telling themselves that they didn't stand to lose anything if they stayed in a relationship here, but now they're starting to realize that they actually do. First of all, this masculine energy stands to lose a lot of energy. And actually, I feel like you should look up the song Energy by Carrie Hilson and literally listen to it from top to bottom, because I feel like every single word in that song is a manifesto of exactly, like if this masculine energy could tell you, if you're this truth person, how it feels, or could just, talk to a therapist and tell a therapist how it feels to be with this person. I wish I could rip out a page of my memory because I put too much energy in him and me. Can't wait till I get through this phase because it's killing me. Too bad we can't rewrite our own history. Such a mystery when he's here with me. It's hard to believe I'm still lonely, right? This ain't how it's supposed to be. I'm having nightmares from sleeping with the enemy. How did we reverse the chemistry? I do think that there was a lot of sexual chemistry, which this person mistook for love. That's another young masculine trait, to mistake sex for love, lust for love. And now this person's realizing that how much energy they lose just living in a shared fantasy with this delusional person over here. And they lose friends, and they lose anybody who wants to stand in truth energy around this pair of people. Because both of them, this person's buying into it, or they did in the past, because some of these people have already left. But you have to distance yourself. And if you stand in truth energy, this person is going to come after you, or they'll sick this person after you. You can't be around them. And this person's starting to realize that. They're starting to realize that they lose some very significant, actually valuable one-on-one relationships, friends, business partnerships, clients, healthy, sane people. They are losing them. So they're starting to realize that. Also, I'm really getting that they might have like a male child together or something, or sons. They could just have children, but it's coming through. Mars represents sons. So this person also realizes that they stand to lose their kids. And I think before they thought, okay, well, if I divorce this person, then I might stand to lose my kids. But here's the thing. And if you're this masculine energy, I feel like you should look into this, because there's masculine starting to realize they're going to lose them either way emotionally, because this is an energy over here that does a thing called enmeshment. And that is a technical term, and you should absolutely look it up. And if you feel like, look into it, like do your research on it, figure out like what things propagate that. And if you are the other parent that is involved in this, maybe reach out to a professional, talk to them about your concerns, ask them what it is that you can do to make sure that enmeshment does not stunt your child's growth and get them emotionally dependent on this kind of toxic feminine energy over here, getting them sucked into this toxic feminine adult drama, and really throw off their development. That might be something that you should really look into. So this masculine energy is like, well, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. I'm going to lose my kids either way, because this is somebody who will like poison someone's children against them, by playing the victim, by, oh, your daddy's hurting me. But really, daddy's not hurting mommy. That's this kind of a situation. I'm not talking about actual abuse. If it's the other way, I don't think this is your pile. So the other thing is, if this person has real estate, they stand to lose it. If this person, like energy, anything that makes them like competitive, potentially brothers, there's males around this person that through the energy of like competition and fighting, then they stand to lose those people. It could even be that this is a feminine energy that tries to make this masculine energy feel like they're friends, that are actually this masculine energy's friends, and they don't have an interest in this person sexually. But they try to, this is an energy that like tries to tell this masculine energy that they're in a relationship with, quote unquote, that other people are interested in them sexually. And they do that in order to get this person jealous and protective, and then biting towards like these other energies. So they stand to lose their friends. They stand to lose their competitive edge. For some of them, they could stand to lose blood. So I don't know if this is a violent situation. But yeah, I'm strongly getting that. And so this masculine energy is starting to realize that they need to deal with this. Like, because it's not as if they can just stay in this relationship and it's not going to affect them negatively. The fantasy is the problem. And so the fantasy is what needs to go. This is a functioning dysfunction. Knight of Wands, this for me can represent like the poison energy from the past. So they are seeing, this masculine energy, if this is who you're asking about, so if you're the toxic person over here asking about this masculine energy, they're seeing you as somebody who is bringing this layer of tribulation and drama and violence, and they're aware of it. They're very, very aware of it. If you're asking about this masculine energy and you're in this truthful energy, then they're seeing you and how strong you are standing in your power and in the face of this shared delusion. And it's a whole mechanism that's going on here. There's like parts and everything. Everybody plays their roles. Because essentially this masculine energy has been a flying monkey for this person for a long time. And I don't think they like to see themselves as that. I think they like to see themselves as somebody strong, competent, but this truth energy has really caught this masculine energy's attention. And they are starting to get a balanced perspective on things again. And I'm hearing that Chris Brown song, slow all the traffic down to a complete stop, because you speak in that slang that I talk, that sassy tempo with that walk. So like this person is like very captivated with this truth energy over here, which could be a person. So yes, this person, like I said, they are watching your social media. They are looking at your pictures and they find you to be attractive. But if you're this toxic energy, it's not a good thing. This person thinks that it's like, maybe this is a situation where they feel like there's not much substance behind the looks, and actually the looks are concealing some really negative behaviors, and that they didn't see it before because they were so enamored. With this truth energy, though, I do feel this masculine energy is developing feelings for this other energy and wants to come through, but they're a long ways from doing that. I feel like they are healing. They have like a lot to look into, not just in terms of ending this relationship, dismantling the delusions and the lies that were whispered into their ear, and then dealing with them, maybe their children, and making sure their children are safe and psychologically and emotionally taken care of, and then also figuring out what in them was vibrating in alignment with this delusional energy, which I think is a feeling of inadequacy and wanting to compete, wanting to be told that they're a good boy and that they're doing everything that they need to do. They just want to be patted on the head and given a bone. And I don't even think it was very hard for this person, this manipulative person, to kind of whip them into shape. So, and I do feel like it's sporadic, like it's kind of like they come back and forth, and it might be in regards to sexual attraction. It might be in regards to anger. It could be to like remind themselves about like the truth here in the situation. They feel like they have a lot to overcome because somebody in this situation was deceiving them and using their superior strength, which I feel like was like this emotional manipulation, some kind of this delusional feminine energy has like maybe they use, this is also this kind of relationship between these two people. It could have been like, okay, this is spiritual sex that we're having, or this is a spiritual dynamic, but and we're soulmates, and that kind of thing. So this feminine energy, their strength is in the spiritual, psychosocial, emotional realm that they use to kind of like blind this person or like outmaneuver them in that realm. I can't stress this enough. I don't feel like this feminine energy, this delusional feminine energy, is necessarily, they like to make moves back from their ivory tower, whenever they can. But they might use the silent treatment and things like that. So anyways, this person that you're asking about, right, the way that they're seeing you is this death card energy. So if you're this person, this toxic feminine energy, they're seeing that they've been clinging to this for a long time, that you've been clinging to this for a long time, but things need to end. They're very close to like ending this for good in whatever way, in order to walk through, a new door. They're seeing this relationship as an entrance into their own 8th house, their fears, their phobias, their own delusions, the skeletons in their own closet that they've been afraid to look at. I do feel like they could be thinking about shared assets and monies and things like that. Because this feminine energy up here, this is another thing, is that I feel like this more masculine energy got sucked into this relationship because they felt like this person made them look good. And then this feminine energy got sucked into it because they also felt like this relationship made them look good, but they were about self-esteem and money and the way that they looked as well. That's what they wanted from this masculine. So it's kind of a transactional, you scratch my back, I scratch yours sort of a setup, but I feel like it wasn't pitched like that. It was pitched, and these people presented themselves to the world as a spiritual pair in some way. So now if you're this person, this truthful person, then they're seeing you as someone who is mysterious. You are well of deep information. You might be interested in psychology or maybe the occult or something like that. They are seeing you as someone with maybe specialist level knowledge in something that helped them balance things out in the truth. They're seeing you as a catalyst for this deep inner transformation, to helping them turn the corner. And like I said, if you're this more toxic person over here, this doesn't have to be another person. This could be a psychological concept or something that this person is seeing. Something that pops the hood and gets below the surface in order to create homeostasis, balance, and harmony deep within a person. But I do feel like there's some painful things that are painful to look at, and things that are, it's going to be painful to separate these two out, either emotionally or in terms of assets. There could be children involved, property, something like that. Maybe there's even something to do with the beach. So what this person is wanting is this comparison, this honest look. I feel like this person, this masculine energy anyway, and honestly, this toxic feminine energy as well, because I feel like this person needs to get help for themselves. They can't get better until they own that they're a part of this, that they're what's causing a lot of this. Because it's showing up that this masculine energy is very reactive. They're less the initiator, but they're more reactive in this. So anyways, they want to, I do feel like there's multiple values here that they wish they could live at the same time, like maybe keeping a family together, but also like being strong and not somebody's lapdog that just goes rabid when like on command. Like that's not the way that they want to be in their relationship, in their dynamic. That's not the example that they want to set for their children. So these values are at odds with one another. They're starting to really, really see that that there's no way out of this but through, and they want to see themselves as strong and capable. So this person wants to make a decision. They want to get a good look at what exactly it is that they've been in. I think they're getting a really good look at the shared fantasy that they've been in with this other person for so long. Now, this person, they are going to want to keep their distance. So if you're a member of this relationship here, then they want to keep their distance. There could still be feelings here, but they're realizing that a lot of that was based upon a lie. It was based upon multiple lies over time. It was based upon delusions. I feel like this person's almost treating it like a sickness. Like I'm hearing suck the poison out. Like they feel like they've been under the effect of some kind of hallucinogen or some kind of poison for a long time, and they don't know what's real. And so they're keeping themselves isolated. And even though they still have feelings for this person, and not all of them are good, like I still think that there's sexual attraction here. I still think that there is love here and wishing things could be different. But there's also a lot of anger and resentment and disbelief in their own actions and how they fell for this for so long. So all of those emotions, they're keeping them to themselves here. Now, if you're this truth energy and that's how you've come to this, then this person is keeping themselves isolated from you because who would want to get involved with this? People don't like to be around this couple anyways. They might put, this is a couple that unconsciously or consciously requires people to put on a face, to pretend like everything's good and everything's okay and we're a part of this like fantasy dance. People just, they do it, but it's not like, that people feel like any kind of connection with this because it's so fake. It's fake at best, and then it's like super dysfunctional, and it could even lash out and become aggressive. If this person who feels like their setup that they feel like they've controlled here, if they feel like that somebody's coming through with a truth energy, that's really threatening because it feels like it could upend this situation here. So they like keep them away. You know what I mean? So so this more masculine energy here with this truth energy, they're like, nobody needs to be around this. I need to contain this. I need to deal with this. So they're going to love you from afar. And they're going to deal with all this stuff that they need to deal with. And they're probably still going to look at your social media and watch your life and watch your pictures and things like that. Yeah. And I haven't really talked much about this from this, like toxic person's perspective, but, if that's, or I'm sorry, no, yeah, from the, well, maybe, I don't really know. There's so much going on here. I feel like you guys kind of get like the dynamic and what's going on. So there is a lot of anxiety here, but there's also a sense that something does need to end. There needs to be a new day here in order to experience happiness, because I feel like there's been a low level of anxiety on the best of days, because you never know what's going to set this person off, you know? I feel like you never know. Like it always surprises this more masculine energy, and then they're like, wait a minute. Now I have to be mad at my best friend. Like I didn't pick up on anything, but if you say so, you know what I mean? There's like a lot of emotional manipulation here. There could be a community of people that maybe does some type of spiritual something to do with the body. So like Tai Chi or yoga or something like that. That's a possibility. Could be a group of spiritual men, could be, or men who live by the sea. I don't know. I think there's a group energy here as well. Or maybe there's a group where there's real estate or property by a beach, or that's spiritual, or there's like a lot of conflict around that as well. But either way, this isn't good, you know? This is not good. And there's a lot of fear that's driving this. And yeah. So let's get some messages here from your person. I honestly don't know how to do these messages because I feel like it's probably going to be from multiple perspectives, but just take, I guess, whatever resonates. So, okay, I'm trying to give you hints about my feelings. Could be for one of you. I picture a world where we can be together. That's definitely this masculine energy, and possibly even this truth energy over here. This person's showing up very regal, very dignified. And I'm just going to say this as well. I'm just going to be very honest. It has been in pile 3 before, where it's like I get these two completely opposite energies, and I feel a little bit, I have felt this in the past, but I didn't really know how to articulate it, where I was like, I could feel that this more like delusional, toxic energy was trying to lie to themselves and tell themselves that they were this, or they were trying to cloak themselves in the energy of this other person. That I was picking up on. But now that I'm seeing all of this out together, it's like, I feel like Spirit is saying, like, listen, if this is you, if you're in this relationship and it's this fuck fight cycle and it's this, you know, back and forth, this whole thing, like, you know, you gotta start getting honest with yourself. Both of you, this is not, I'm sure these people can be lovely people on their own. They have no business being together. It's just bad. It doesn't work, you know? And somebody needs to tell them this, honestly. Because I feel like they've had ample opportunity to see themselves in the mirror. They both wake up and they don't recognize themselves, you know, but nobody walks away from this. I see you're doing well. It's really amazing to see. I feel like that's this masculine energy to this more truth energy over here. I don't want to hurt you, so I'm already gone. So that's probably one of these two people. If this more toxic person said it, they don't actually mean it. They're just saying it to try to get their hooks back in somebody. I want to spend quality time with you. Okay, a lot of these are coming out as this masculine energy to this like truth energy, or like this kind of dynamic. I'm avoiding you. I sneak glances at you when you're not looking. I can't keep picturing you with them. I feel like that's this truth energy to, you know, that situation. I want to know more about you. I feel like that's this masculine to this truth energy. They're hard out observing this person, or this, you know, noun, this person, place, or thing, or concept, or idea, field. It could be like maybe they're getting into the field of psychology. They're starting to learn about healthy relationships. They're starting to learn about maladaptive personalities, you know, and what keeps those toxic relationships going, you know. And they want to know more about that. Or again, I think for a lot of you, it's a person that embodies the truth, and they want to know more about you. So that's why they're observing you, but they're not letting on to this toxic energy that there's something else. Oh, I want to help you. Yeah. So that's what I have for you guys, pile number 3. This was a rough one. And I just want to remind you to listen to that song Energy by Carrie Hilson, because I feel like if you were like, what? I don't really understand what's going on. Like the vibe of this relationship, it's like, I feel like that song, even if you just read the lyrics, like it's gonna explain everything that you need to know here about this dynamic. So this was a really intense reading. I hope that you can respect me and trust me as a reader for telling you the truth and not caring to placate anyone's ego in order to get views or in order to get subscribers. I am loyal to spirit above all else. And that's something that this toxic energy would have a problem with. But if you're not this energy and you can get down with this program, or even if you are this toxic energy and you're like, you know what, I'm ready to own this. I'm gonna look to see if there's some therapists in my area that can help me sort this out. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. I hope to see you around here. This is such an interesting setup, and I feel like there is something about this that's incredibly divinely guided for the benefit, the highest vibrational good of all of these people, because this person needs to look at themselves and own themselves for them to change so that they can start living out a different narrative and living in reality with the rest of us. And then this masculine energy needs to change so that they're nobody's lapdog and they're not being yanked around on a leash and foaming at the mouth and just up to it for anybody, any toxic energy to serve their own agendas in the future. And then even for this truth energy, just to let you know that this isn't, these people try to idealize their relationship, but it's a mess. So if you are looking at this and you're thinking, that you missed out on anything, like, I just feel like you're being protected. And I do feel like this more masculine energy is also trying to protect you. Like, let me not bring this mess, over into your lap. So, okay, that's what I have for you guys. Well, actually, okay, no, that is what I have for you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.